Nice one. Very Christmassy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Just reminds me of the karting track in last December.
Yeah, I know. That's why I did it. Oh, that's brilliant.
So we are live, guys, huh? In 30
We are live.
seconds.
We are live.
we are live.
What's up, everybody?
And we are live. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Yo,
And
yo.
I'm very pleased to have today, I think, one of the best groups in the world, Carve UK. And
Thank you.
let's talk. Hello.
Where's Nelson? There's always the same question when we're in group rides together, Nelson.
Yeah. Who is everybody there? Let me see. Ricardo.
Okay.
Let's start to talk, my friends. The first question is like this. I start with Ricardo. How everything started.
How everything started. So Carve UK has got a rich history and a big background in the UK e-skate scene. So Lee Wright, he founded the first group on Facebook because he was just trying to find people to ride with. In the meantime, eSkate UK also showed up. I didn't know of Lee's group. I joined first to eSkate UK. But obviously you guys know, possibly better than me, that things didn't go well with Jack and Suki. Don't really get along with their style of leadership, what they stand for. They don't even actually ride that much anyway. So I don't think they represent the community, but that's another subject. Anyway, I joined forces with Lee. At the same time that eSkate UK was going crashing, Billy also started with some other guys his own Facebook chat to organize rides in London. So we joined forces because they were quite a big group at the time as well, and we were just ramping up. So everybody was leaving eSkate UK and joining Carve UK. And that's pretty much how it started, and it just grew organically, and now we're the biggest, most active group in the UK. We've participated in the events across Europe, been to Belgium, been to Paris, organized the Skate Cup. I've just been in Greece because I just had to take care of some personal matters, so hooked up with e-skaters in there. And that's what we do. We're for the community, we're by the community, and we organize events for the community. I'm guessing that the rest of you guys can add up to this story and put your own slant to it.
Yeah, I want to speak. Yeah, Tom, can you tell me how you started with the?
I think pretty better going with Billy because he was the next stage from joining Carve. So I'd stick Billy on it and then go for me afterwards because Billy was the next member of Carve from there.
Yeah, we'll go through the expansion of Carve then, yeah.
Billy, how was your experience to start it with?
Yeah, so essentially it was pretty much a lot of us who started Carve as the chat essentially was like, it's cool to have like groups to join, like eSkate UK and then obviously Electric Skateboarding UK at the time, so on and so forth. But we needed somewhere where we can all actively chat and actively talk together. And that's where we thought, why don't we make a chat where everyone can just come in, talk and say, this is where I'm riding, and they can physically share their location. So people say, this is exactly where I am, and this is what I'm going to do. And essentially, that was the idea of why we started Carve as Carve as itself for the messenger chat. And then I approached Lee at first, and then afterwards had a chat with Lee and Ricardo together. And I said, look, you guys have got the group, we've got the chat. Why don't we come together and have one massive group? And then history was made, and here we are. So yeah, it's lovely to see how far Carve has grown from from when I first started Eastgate myself, and I become passionate of like this sort of industry and sport, to the sense of now where everyone comes together, rides together. You know, everyone's happy with Carve itself. You know, everyone loves the vibes that we bring. You know, like we do a lot of like, especially in London. Obviously, we try and host as many rides as possible. Obviously, this year has got a bit sour, of course, but we still try to provide for the community as much as we can, and that's what I love, the passion that a lot of riders have for Carve.
Yeah, and you, Ben, how do you start it, my friend? Everything for you.
I think Tom was before me, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tom was before you.
Let's say chronologically, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I started Eastgate. Actually, I realised this the other day, about 3 years ago, and I got my first board, which was a GTX. Went to a Christmas ride, thinking that it's the most pinnacle board out there at the time. Met up with Tim Wood, which was quite a bit of a weird situation, because back in that days, there was literally only Boosted or Evolve out there. And looking at the Evolve, which apparently had more range at the time, I was thinking, I've got a board that's going to do really, really well. Mars watching, nice Mar. So Ricardo got his business cards out at the time, because that was a thing with his business cards if you join Carve. So I was like, okay, let's go. Here's Carve. This is what it is. And for me, my history before Carve, I used to be part of something called the British B-Boy Association. And basically, we used to do what Carve did, but in the breakdancing community. So when I heard that something I've just gotten new to had this community based around it with Carve, it was a good opportunity to hopefully be involved and kind of, and it was very much earning your stripes at that point. And I was like, I really want to do more, and I really want to be involved in this, because I joined this Christmas group ride where I ran out of charge, and then Billy had 80% charge on his DIY board at the time. And I was like, thanks, mate. And then networked with Billy and other people, and then met more people. And there's this welcoming atmosphere with Carve where we had this kind of like rule that we don't discuss, which is we only go by the slowest person. So it's all about inclusiveness. So it's not like about let's all just go for a ride, and then if you drop out, that's the end of it. It's very much we look after each other, which is really, really good. And me coming from like a dancing background where we used to host events and do whatnot, I felt like with this Carve UK, I can hopefully be part of that. So started hosting little things where no one turned up. So for people who watch, host events, it's going to be a slow process, because, you know, I mean, people need to trust that you're going to be looked after going to his events. So like to say, not to be vain, but I think now at this point I've established myself enough to know if I'm going to host an event, that everyone's going to be looked after, everyone's going to be included. So it's good to have. So host these events and get involved in more. And I wasn't even in Carve at the time. I was just a member with other members in the group, such as Shaz and Eastgate Monster doing stuff like that, or Simon hosting small events, more and more being involved. And I thought, do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to contact the guys who are running it, Ricardo and Lee, and say, look, I want to do more. And to be honest, it doesn't make a difference, me being part of the admin team. I do more because I want to be involved more. So it's good to have that platform where I can be creative and host events. And the goal is with Carve is for me and other people who have done stuff to step back and let the community run itself. So that's where I'm at with Carve at this point. So I move over to Ben.
Cool. So I probably started skating probably about 2 years ago. I'm from Birmingham, and I basically found a WhatsApp group that someone called Amar actually started up. And I basically we rode as a group, and I just got to know those guys. And then probably about a year or so later, like I started getting like more involved and trying to like organize rides myself with them. And then we got to the point where we like started integrating with Carve more, and we actually created like a really big Birmingham ride. And we got a load of people from London up, and like we just basically got a load of people, basically most people in this stream came along with Lee and Ricardo.
That was an awesome ride.
Yeah, and we actually met Nelson there as well.
Yeah, we started everything in this weekend. It was like an amazing week for me, because was Billy, Tom who organized it from London, and you and Amar who organized everything in Britain. And I think was like a dream come true for me. How do you take care of me?
You liked it so much that you stood next to the guy that was drumming it in the center of town. Everybody was, where's Nelson? Where's Nelson?
Yeah, guys.
And Nelson was watching the drama guy.
Like me, for me, the experience with Carve was like a dream. I think Carve take care of me in one way that I cannot forget it. And I think that is so positive energy from you guys that is impossible for you not to come to Carve UK group, because the way you work everything and the way you do it is so fantastic. How do you take care of me? How do you take care of everybody? That I cannot forget. But my big question is like this. I see how Carve is working. I know that we are in a difficult time now for because of the COVID-19. But what is the plans for Carve for 21?
It's maybe I can take this. It's an interesting question, because all of us in here, we're all for the group rides and for the events. And I mean, Billy started his Facebook Messenger group because he wanted rides, and Thomas wanted also to start group rides, and Amar and Ben also were on the group rides, and all of us that are on the admin team were all for that. And myself, I remember back in 2016, I think, I posted up the first group ride on the Evolve UK group, and nobody turned up. It was just me and my brother. Anyway, that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to get some vaccines on our bodies and start rolling it again. There's plans ongoing. We wanted to repeat a bit last summer what happened in Paris in 2019. So I bet there'll be some news on that, and there'll be more events around the UK, big events. I'm working on the background with a couple of guys to get things rolling, and things are looking rosier now with the vaccine coming on. I'm sure that we'll be in a better state in 2021, and maybe, who knows, we'll join you in Germany. What's your thoughts, guys?
I think I'll say something on this one. So I think one thing that I know me, Billy have discussed was hopefully working towards actually evolving the riders a bit more in the UK, so kind of more established, more of like a racing team within Carve. So in regards to like improving the standard of the UK, so one thing we've discussed and we hopefully try to put together at some point is establishing track days where we can practice and like, for example, the Maidenhead event, the go-kart events that Evolve have done is a good eye-opener to see what is possible. And then with guys over with like Eastgate Fight Club in the States and stuff like that, improving the standard of riders out there. I know Billy and me have discussed doing more and more kind of improving the standard. So it's not about brands. So it's not about Evolve or Tramp or Lacroix. It's about actually who's our top boy for the UK or girl, and send them over to represent Carve UK as a race team. It's one thing we've looked at evolving. And one other thing as well we're hopefully trying to do, one thing I want to propose to the team as well, is actually having more representatives in the Carve team. Good old Jamie there, he's got little beast boards all the time, and they toy with a new board. But also looking at actually, like, for example, like the goal is to step back. It's always about stepping back. So like, we've done stuff in the past with like hosting rides and events, but the goal is having more people within the community to shine. It's not the Billy, Ben, Ricardo, and whoever's show. It's actually about the community. So it's actually us stepping back and having more people having the opportunity to have those events out. So I think that's the goal going forward.
That's a great point, because we're seeing now people like Simon or Scott or Ches grabbing the group rides by the horns or organizing it by themselves and carrying forth the values of Carve UK. So it's great to see it. And I see the events in LA and in Washington and New York, and that's the kind of numbers that we want to see.
We can do it here. We are very, very well organized, and we can do it better. You see it when you do that in Paris. was one of the fantastic weekends for us, all of us, and was lots of persons. I was not expecting so many people on so well organized. Yeah,
I think Tom got his mic cut off in there.
Me?
Well, were you talking at some point? Sorry.
No, it was
that was me. That was me.
Sorry.
The important thing is like me. I have another question. That is what is going to happen next year with electro. It's electric.
Ricardo.
So it's electric.
You see there.
We kind of had it aborted last year because we started organizing it, and we're just about to start contacting the big brands to get it bigger and better event, and get. We had people from the States and from Australia interested in coming in. So it was a big shame that we couldn't do it last year. But the jury is still out there. We're going to do it. Maybe not in the same kind of format that we've done it in the past, but it's an event that went so well, and I have so many memories and some great memories.
I should have been
met
there.
so many people, and
Should
so
have been there.
there's no reason for us not to do something similar. And be it in Paris, be it, I think the idea is if we don't do it in Paris, we do it somewhere else in London, or we're going to bring e-skate love to elsewhere in Europe. I think this is where it's going.
Yeah, that's.
I think the exciting thing to say about that, though, is we've been in. I wouldn't say we've cancelled 2020, but I think we've been in hibernation for 2020 because 2021 with the 18S boards, the all-wheel drive boards, the direct drive, the gear system, there's going to be rockets next year. Absolute rockets next year. So
can't wait to see the races.
Oh, mate, you've gone from. I really hope. This is the thing that interests me. We've got obviously the Paris track was limited by the space we had. Unfortunately, it wasn't there. But could you imagine if we had two tracks? The smaller tracks for the nimble, the evolves, the smaller boards and whatnot, and kind of like the agility, and then having another track for like the trampers, the Lacroix, the bios and the Callies, like rockets.
Exactly.
Amazing.
The good thing is that the council they saw what it brought to the town on 2019, and just after the event, we started getting other councils interested in hosting us. So they saw the benefits, not only tourism, but financial and getting their name out there. Auvers was, they supported us from the start, but now there are other places around Paris that they want us, and they want to support us even more. So I'm hoping that something will come out, and it will come out soon.
I think that even though 2020 has gone how it's gone, I think it essentially hyped everyone up for 2021 for the events that Carve and It's Electric's going to hopefully do. In the sense of, obviously, I know this year has gone how it has gone, of course, and I know a lot of people haven't been able to ride how they've wanted to ride. But honestly, I think it's pretty much made it more of a bigger hype. Everyone's going to get super excited. As the first one went so great as it did, I think the second one's going to go 10 times better.
What boards are you going to take to the next event? Come on, spill the beans.
Yeah.
Who first?
Everybody. Well, we'll start with Ben because he's been very quiet.
So, what was the question?
What would you take for a race day next year? What are you going to get? What are you going to look towards?
In terms of boards?
Yeah.
If you had to go on a track line and you're about to send it, what's the board you want to be riding?
I'd probably say my GTR, just due to the nimbleness of it, like
the agility.
I've rode that board for so long now, and I'm just so used to it. I've got the trucks like ridiculously loose, and I still like. Granted,
has that changed for you, Ben? Have you always rode like that, or have you adapted from loose trucks to stiff trucks?
It was actually the Belgium event. I loosened them off as we finished the event, just
Okay.
to test it out, then I
Was that
realised.
the kart? Was that a karting track or something?
Oh,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at
do
least-
you know what's funny, Ben? I was looking at my content on my channel for the 2020 recap, which we've done a lot more than you believe. And there's a shot of you on it, and I was thinking how amazing that Brussels event was. You know, I mean, you're doing it later on in the stream, I believe, Nelson, with the Brussels wheelers. They did such a good job with the limited, like the first time they'd ever done it. But anyway, Ben, what would you take? The GTR, yeah?
Yeah, GTR for sure. Just for the.
But you drive, but you have to. We have to say it that Ben drive it very well. The GTR. I have
It's a
the
Yeah,
pleasure.
machine.
First track day as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's one of the best rider I see. I do the first time I ride with him in Belgium, I was not waiting that he drive so well, and he was in first place in my group because Thomas and Billy
They were fighting.
we was in other group and
Yeah, we put one wheels.
yeah, and I was very 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 proud to see how Ben can good drive with this blue wheel. You always have
One odd wheel. One wheel.
Yeah.
Odd.
It's got to look different, hasn't it? So
I don't know. Just pick a different wheel. I'm done. Yeah.
What's your weapon of choice, Nelson, for a race?
for me.
Yeah. Is that the one in the background?
That is my baby. No, I think if you want to talk, you have to go to a board. You can good carve, because if you go to a race, you have to have or Trump or I think Evolve, because it's faster. It's coming new boards here, but I think Trump and the DJI, the guys, they are very good in that. For me, I'm not a race guy because I'm not so good like Billy or Tom or Ben, but I love to enjoy with the guys, and I'm not so young.
It's to see what you can do. That's the interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was
it's
amazed.
fun
I was amazed by Tom because he drive very good the LaCroix, and it's not easy to carve so fast with the LaCroix. And
I just remember Tom now in the karting tracks, Evolve days, going up the hill and then down, just going through that bend and saying, "Woohoo!"
Do you know the funny thing? Actually, I was going through my phone and I was telling my girlfriend about this on the Evolve karting days. What I was doing, because I was having so much fun, I was taking my phone and I was taking selfies of myself overtaking people because I thought it's so funny. But I think for me, if I had to choose any board, it literally would either be a LaCroix variation or the Tramp all-wheel drive. Like, I've got some content stuff for that. It's just the all-wheel drive is just an absolute rocket. So it'd be interesting because this is the thing. It's like you could have an all-wheel drive, which is amazing, which is the hot topic in the moment. But having that thing every day would be a nightmare because like every wheel needs maintenance. So
plus
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you, Billy? You probably have experienced the most variety of boards that out of all of us. What do you take to a racetrack?
So, like, it depends on what the track is, really. Like, I'd love to race my Evolve Carve GTR again. Like in Brussels, I really enjoyed using it because to get around the turns, and I was able to turn much more sharper, you know, so on and so forth. But like, I feel like I'd be stuck in between my Tramper or basically next month onwards, I'm gonna hopefully try and build a race board. It won't just be just for racing. It's gonna be. So yeah, so basically, my plan is I want to create a board that's park usable, as in I can take it. But long story short, it's going to be super light, like the lightest tramper board / mountain board that you can possibly get, right?
Where the batteries go.
Oh no!
Nice Instagram feed this is, Billy.
So this
I love that.
see what this was, right? So that was Amsterdam when we went to visit Fat Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
me,
this guy,
and my friend Dorian. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, anyway, so so I'm looking to build myself what I've got now, my Tramper, but pretty much.
hey, I know these guys, and they are fantastic. They are.
Yeah.
This guy with the one wheel is a machine.
Yeah, man, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to hear everything about Billy's board. Come on.
Yeah, so basically I'm going to try and make a ball that's under 15 kilos. It's going to run 2 lipos, and that is it. And then essentially it'll be light enough that I can carry it on my back while riding my current tramper, but also light enough so I can strap myself in and then go to a skate park and do loads of jumps, 360s, 180s, giant gaps, you know, everything that you'd want to do on a normal mounting board, just on an electric mounting board. I kind of want to, it's more of I want to prove myself that I can do it, but I want to prove other people background. Yeah, but you don't need to have a background in mounting boarding like all the tramper guys do. I basically want to learn everything the guys at tramper do, but without having background in mounting boarding. So essentially my goal is to build a light enough board that's still electric, still has power, but lets me do all the stuff that I would want to do on a on a mounting board, just electric.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But it's going to be sort of tradable in a way that I can exchange one part for another whenever I want. So say, for example, we do go to a track day, we do go to a go-kart track, I can switch something out, make it a bit more faster just for that day, or put a bigger battery on it. It's just super easy to swap over, but that's essentially the goal. And hoping to do that by April, by my birthday, right about. So
nice.
Happy birthday, Billy.
As long as this year onwards goes slowly back to normal, and I have work, then hopefully that will be that's the end goal.
Yeah, but the important what I want to ask is more about the Carve guys, and the important thing is what you guys love more about the Carve. What is so special for you? What made the Carve?
I don't go in a straight line. I've never gone in a straight line. Joe, a good example. I was watching Tim Wen's video of out with Billy. This was your event you hosted, where he was out, and he did a hyperlapse for about just for a duration of time, riding along, and you see everyone going like this, and you watch me, and I go, and it's like the whole way. It's really funny, and I think that's where there's a maturity with V-skate, and I think for carving, the actual definition of carving, like to carve the board, it's all well and good holding down a button and going down in a straight line, but if you can't control that, then what's the point? And I think it's all about that development, and I think everyone, for me personally, it's about being hungry, developing and improving your ride. So that's why I look at all these different boards and all these different types of riding styles to evolve and get better. But I think for me as a community for Carve, I think it's just a place where everyone can feel safe and talk about stuff, because we don't take crap, If anyone's being an arse in our group, what I mean? We sort that out, because it's meant to be a safe environment for everyone to talk about what they enjoy to do. For a lot of people, this is their only escape.
And you, Ricardo.
They have a safe space to do so.
That's a very good point. And one of the things that I'd like to see, and I think everybody in here would like to see more of, is more representation from the other side, the other sex, more females around. We have currently about 6% of us are females. And I think it's important to have more representation. I mean, we see it with Cassie, we see it with other girls. The names escape me now. Rebecca, Amanda, and a few other girls. I can't remember now. Yeah, but I want to see more of that. And it's all about the community, and it's what Tom says. We don't really care what's outside of Carve in your own world. When you're in Carve, it's just about skate and just enjoying your time. And one of the good things, and I've seen this from the beginning, is the incredible diversity of backgrounds that we have in Carve. I mean, I work in a chemical industry. I'm a project manager. I can be riding with someone that works as a cleaner. I can be riding with someone that's a CEO of a well-known brand, and that doesn't really matter. We're in there just for the love of skating and carving and making friends and sharing the skate love.
I've got to say, that as well. Like, to be honest, Carve is like when it comes to what it means to me, Carve is like my baby, essentially. I love Carve. I love everything we do for Carve. I love the team. I love everything that we provide to the community. I love the community's reaction to what we do. And I don't know, I feel like I couldn't ever stop doing stuff for Carve. Like even years to come, like when I'm still skating onwards and onwards, I'm still going to provide for the community, still provide for Carve, still provide for the guys who want to come out for a ride with us, help noob riders out, all that kind of stuff. And it's nice to think about. Every time I think of it, it just makes me happy because I know how far we've come with Carve and how much further we can go with it. It means a lot.
And now we have little Carve groups dotted around. I mean, we have Tom, we have Ben in Birmingham now, we have in Leicester, we have people in Newcastle, we have people all over the south of England. We have already a few people appearing in Scotland. And I don't know, Ben, what's the biggest ride turnout that you guys had in Birmingham?
I'll probably say it was that ride that we did with where you guys came down, because generally, obviously, with COVID,
it's slowed us down.
Riders max at the moment this year.
Slow everybody. Was everybody around the world? It's just here in Germany is impossible, my friend, to do something. You don't have the chance to do nothing. If you do it, you're going to lose. There is no chance. Everybody stopped.
Even on your own?
Or?
Even on your own, or just group rides?
Yeah, group rides. Group rides, you can forget it.
Actually, I'm going to say one thing, actually. I remember seeing a little Nelson with a giant Portuguese flag on a group ride during lockdown, I think. I remember correctly.
Yeah. I love. Everybody knows I love my Portugal and everything. But
Portuguese flags is like a vaccine, guys.
Represent your family, man.
Yeah, the other thing I like to ask to you guys, what Carve don't like?
I'm going to talk for this one. I'm going to start.
Go on.
I think that is very important, guys, because the first time I speak with Tom, I was in London. Tom make me a very good. He asked me something, and I think that is very important. He asked me what you want from Carve, and I think that is important today to ask to a group when you come inside, because lots of persons want to come to groups and they don't do nothing for the group.
I think that what I don't like, I'm going to say for personally, because I don't think it's fair to speak collectively, but I think personally from an admin point of view, what I don't like is the people being lost in what Carve is about, comparing, let's say, deck sizes, oh, you're riding this, I'm riding that, I'm now better than you, or I have something that's more impressive than you. I think what you're doing is missing an opportunity to learn from someone else. Like I go out and I look quite Lone Star, but the thing's the heaviest thing on the planet. You pick it up, it's like picking up like the Titanic. But someone goes out of the boosted boards who could be really creative and using the amazing ability to move around the city much more freely, So I think it's not about. I think there's a lot of unnecessary, as we say in UK, flexing. I have this, I'm now better than you. It's not about that. It's about actually connecting. I think if you have the mentality, I think you're missing an opportunity to learn something from a different rider's point of view. I am fortunate to be where I am because of going out riding with someone who rides a different way, who has a different board. Now I learn how they ride, and then I adapt that to what I learn. You get better for the people you ride with. So don't isolate yourself by saying you're better than someone else. That's not the point of what Carve.
Okay. And you, Ben?
It's a hard question, really. Like, what don't we...
There's things we don't like. I don't like some things like me. I have my groups, and it's sometimes I don't like to the people. It's like bringing negative stuff for the groups.
There's lots of drama in general, to be honest. Just e-skate for me is just like a way to get away from like work stresses, personal things. So the second like any sort of drama comes to skateboarding, like I'm just not a fan of that at all, and I'd just rather avoid that at all situations, really.
And this is the important for the group. That's what I think. You have to, when you want to go in your board, you just want to have fun, and you don't want to have well, how can I say it? You
Problems.
don't want to have to problems, and you have to want to leave everything behind you. That is my question. And you, Ricardo?
Yeah, that's what we all do. We come into Escape to relax at the end of a long week of work, and the last thing that we want is drama. And that's probably one of the reasons that I left Escape UK, was that I was fed up with all the drama that was going on in there, and the family that welcomed me at Carve was a lot more relaxed, a lot more for the riders, a lot more for the fun of it, a lot more for the events, and that's what we want. Obviously, every group has its growing pains, and we've gone through a few growing pains ourselves. We've had our fair share of small dramas, but nothing that detracts from the group itself. And that's how we want to continue. We want to be a drama-free place where everybody's welcome and everybody's sharing their own ideas and seeing new things, building new boards, coming up with new concepts, and sharing them. And that's what we are about.
That's why I ask this question, because if somebody wants to join the Carve, they have to know what they want from you, because I think it's very important just not to say, okay, I'm going to go to Carve, because Carve is very big, has more than 2,000 people in UK, because that's the next question I like to put to you guys. And yeah, I think that is an important thing, because I know that Carve is a UK group. I think that was a decision from you guys. Is that right or not right?
Yeah, that was always the idea, and also from Lee, who isn't here today. We obviously have our friends of Carve, like yourself, and other people that we met on our journeys in France, in Belgium, in Holland, and friends from all over the world that we welcome in Carve. But they have to have a bit of the UK in them, and some sort of relationship to us, because there's already too many groups out in Facebook that cover other things, and this is our IP. This is our little thing, our little corner. Maybe you can criticize us to say that it's a bit narrow-minded or whatever, but this is who we are. We are British. We're not alone. We're still in Europe, no matter about Brexit. But we still have our friends throughout Europe and the world. But we still want to continue with this UK vibe, and that's served us well in the past, and that will serve us well in the future. And I mean, if the group at one point decides this is not the direction that we want to take, we want to take a different direction, then we'll talk about it and we'll take a decision. But for now, this is where we are. And I think we see the strength in numbers. We've been interviewed by various media around the world, even, not only the UK. And people see those videos, and especially sponsors and other people that are interested in our journey, that want to sponsor our events. They see that and they say, oh, yeah, these guys are credible. These guys have a journey. These guys have a purpose. So let's support them on their journey. And that's that's the space that we want to take right now. And I think we're taking it responsibly. I think we're representing the UK in a good way. And if there's ways of improving, we're always up to listen for new ideas.
I was just saying one thing to say about the UK exclusivity. I think one thing to take note on is that it's a bit like the FIFA is a good example. We've got international teams in FIFA, all over the world who represent, UK league. But does that improve the standard of the UK? No, because we go and buy European players who represent UK teams, and now we've got the better team. But the UK standard doesn't go there. And I think that's the one important thing about Carve UK, is that this is one thing we constantly discuss. We discuss this very often about should we be UK or should we open it up, and we always go back to yes, we should be UK, because I think what's important is if you were to join Carve and there's these members, you know that you're going to post an event which is regional to where you are. You're not going to be posting an event and then, by the way, this event's happening in Germany, you can't go. I think it's important that to say that actually in Carve UK we've got the people in the group are improving the standard of e-skate and electric. It's not just e-skate. We've got one-wheelers, UC riders, and whatnot. It's about improving the standard of everyone within the group. So it's improving the UK standards, and I think it's important that we protect where we are, our heritage is, and where we aim to be, which is having UK standard moving up there and also representing in Brussels. Oh yeah, yeah, we did.
I just think it's important to know as well. It's not as if we've got like anything against people from other countries. Like I'm in like cycling groups, and I'm purposely writing in like Cycling UK because I want to like talk to people in the same sort of like local area. So that's my reason really for like doing more stuff UK. But obviously, I'm more than happy to like network with people outside of the UK as well.
I don't think no one of us has anything against any other country in Europe or the rest of the world. It's just the space that we occupy. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, but you want to add in anything to that?
Yeah, that's why I asked this question. It's not a negative question. I think it's an important question because all the other countries, they have the rules of the groups, and we have to respect it. I'm in a lot of groups. You Ricardo, you are all in lots of groups, and you know that what everything works. But I'm an active guy in all the groups, and most of you are all active guys in the groups. And there is lots of guys, they just come one time in a year.
Don't give. That's
yes.
the thing. That's the kind of reason why I feel like I want to make stuff. And that's the reason why I do, because I feel like I owe a debt to give back to what I've got from doing this. So that's where I stand with this.
That's why I when I talk about Carve, I see so many people doing something for the Carve, like Billy, like Tom, like Ben, like Amar, like Lee, like Tim, doing so many videos, bringing so many things out, doing Tim doing this constant, this quit, this every Sunday.
Quiz, yeah, it's just on at 8 o'clock, UK 9 o'clock.
He's after this, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think everybody is doing so many things for Carve, and you don't see it in so many groups. You see in other groups just doing maybe two or three persons working for the groups, and the rest just watching. And by you guys, everybody is working, and I think that is fantastic.
I feel there's a great opportunity for the Carve members to feel free to express themselves. Don't feel like you need approval to do stuff. If you want to host an event, you want to do a poll, you want to do some stream, I think it's very important now. It's an opportunity to say to you guys, you have a free space to do so. We're not going to police what you're doing. As long as it's creative and positive, we want that. That's what we want. We want us to step back. We want you guys to step up and feel like you have a chance to kind of be recognized for the efforts you put in there.
And the other thing, what I think is like this: if you see you have Trumpa, the guys go with you out. They are a company, but they come with you together. You have Involve UK. I think the guys from Involve UK, they are so special. I think they are very, very, very. It's not because of you.
We got the representative. We got them all in here.
How everybody treats you is so special. Then you have Lee in his company that I think everybody is working together, and that is so beautiful. I forget you have Pafal is right the name. The name Pafal is one of the guys, crazy guys, who is so many years with you guys, and I think
we see more of Pavel. We need to see more of him on the board. His workshop.
Yeah.
Pavel, if you're watching, get on the board. Go to more things.
I'm trying to.
No, you touched a really important subject in there, Nelson. Not only we have a class act in terms of riders and community, we also have top brands in here. We're blessed by that, and Evolve UK, the guys, they have been doing events for a lot of time in the cycle park. They are very active in the community. Trumper guys, they're crazy the way they ride. They come from the mountain boards community that was set up, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and they've transitioned to the electric movement, and they already have their own culture of community and riding together and making a fool out of themselves, but in a good way. And we have other brands coming up. We have obviously Apex with Lee. We have a team that has his own retailer kind of thing. We have Benny. We have Luke with the board that won. Yes, you have your your wheels as well.
I'm going to
Product placement. God damn it.
don't worry, Billy. Billy, I don't forget you.
You should show them, Bill. To be fair, like let's see that they do. Let's show the purple one. It looks the pink one. It does look good. To be fair, yeah, do the purple one. It's better than the blue one. Go on, let's see it. No, the other one which is the half one.
The other brand that I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
That's his
It
Billy
does look
costume.
sick.
That's
It
his
is
costume
sick.
from
That
Billy.
looks wicked. How do you do that?
It's a secret.
Magic.
I love you. They're getting there. There's like these ones you can't really see, but they're like galaxy, and they change color so that they're going to
I
like
can
purple.
see that.
I think what's important about the whole business side of things is this is the one thing where there's a thin line we need to establish. People doing the business ventures, what is giving an opportunity to do more of what you enjoy to do. It's funding your hobby, your passion.
Yeah.
So it's not just you're doing this. And I think it's very important we establish that, people want to do this full time. And if you have to do this, then this is what you need to be doing. So it's the balance between work and all that stuff. But,
I mean, to be honest, the reason that I started this was because not for my own personal gain, but more because ever since I started working at Evolve, I've heard how much people are so passionate about customizing their boards and stuff, and I just thought, why not take it that one extra step further and let you you can essentially customize what colors your wheels want if you want multiple colors, so on and so forth. And I thought there's not really much out there doing that. There was a dude in America, but I don't think he's doing it anymore, and there's no one in the UK doing it. So why is no one doing it?
Gap,
I just saw the gap and I jumped in, and here we are. And hopefully, people can start.
But it's important to say that Carve is not wedded to any brand or any individual in particular. We welcome everybody, and obviously one of the brands that I forgot to mention at the start was Sleek Revolution. They're still out there, I presume, and I hope. What's that?
where are they?
Down south. I hope Rob is watching it anyway. I don't want to be unfair to anybody, and
heritage of everything.
We welcome everybody, and it doesn't matter about their own personal backgrounds or what they've been up to.
That was my next question. That's why my next question. I know that you guys, you are a group with the money what you make is for the community.
What money?
Is right or not?
We tried. We did try. We did try to put some funds together through some merchandising and whatnot. Before, like, for example, Ricardo snapping his cap. I just, it was tricky. We did have, and it is open. I think you guys are okay for me to say it. We did attempt to do a store to represent stuff and put funding back into the community. Unfortunately, it didn't work. We had difficulties with suppliers and difficulty with orders being far too delayed than they needed to be. I don't think we are. Hopefully, we're not too harmed from our idea of making this work, because the idea is to invest into staff so we can rent venues and also host more stuff. I just think we need to go in a different tactic to do so. I just think the way we did it wasn't really necessarily the right way.
We tried it and it didn't work. At the end of the day, we don't want the money for ourselves. This is we've got about £100 in our PayPal or something like that.
That's my question was not. I know you, Ricardo. I know Lee. I talk with you two guys. I know what you think, or what you think from Carve, what you love from Carve, and I know that you. That's why it was my question. I know there is lots of groups who make money and they put it in his pocket. I know you guys do it for the community.
The
I
best
know
If
way
that
anything, we lose
uh,
money. Let's be
the-
honest, we all lose money. That's what we do. For example, Tim Wood, we had this in our chat today, which I think
Exactly,
we're
yeah.
okay to talk about it. Tim Wood's supplying stuff for his quiz this weekend, which I
Some
recommend
news.
to anyone
Some
in
news.
Carve who's watching. It's a great fun. Me and my partner look forward to it every week. I've never seen my partner so focused in her life when she's like pushing me away to be away from her because she's focusing
She's
on
always
this
the
quiz
first
right
to
now.
answer in the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, she loves it. But as a result, these are the things you don't see. People see the event, people see the things that happen. What they don't see is the stuff that's behind it. For example, Tim Wood, he's getting some stuff for the prizes from sponsorship, which is fantastic. However, he's paying import tax, he's paying duty fees, he's paying postage fees, and this stuff costs money. And at the moment, he's the only one paying for it. And so we've discussed we need to make sure we help fund it from what we have already. So this is the thing. These events, like these quizzes and stuff like that, I know I did last lockdown. I did my quizzes. It took me hours and hours to put this stuff on, and it's just because I don't want the idea of thinking someone's out there on their own, nothing to look forward to, is upsetting me enough to make sure I put something together. And that's what Tim Wood's doing. So this is what we do. We try, if anything, as admins, we have less engagement because we can't enter our own competitions because we're now involved in that. So actually, I did win one, to be fair. I did win deservedly 3 weeks in a row, coming second, driving me nuts. I did actually win. But we pay a lot of our own pocket. For example, I've had our Carve patches that I paid for myself. I think they were like £200 or something for like several hundred. I've never made a penny from any of it. And what I've done is given it back to communities prizes or given it to the right people and promoting it. We personally have, it's anything is negative for us, but we do it because of what we get about connecting with people, and that's
I've
what
got
we
to
get
say
from
as
it.
well. Like, I've just spotted what Amanda just said in the chat, and from what I read is essentially even the Paris Cup, for example, for us to make it work, we ended up paying out of our own pocket to make it work. You know, it wasn't just fully funded by the community and sponsorships. We actually had to physically give our own cash to make it work, and it just shows how passionate we all are to make community events like that happen.
And it's not just the money; it's the time investment from everyone involved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I did
yeah.
enjoy making the track with Ricardo. That was good fun.
yeah, but
Amanda will testify that I was trying to organize Paris 19, and she was looking at the wedding dresses, and I was looking at the phone instead of looking at her, and she got pissed off with me. So that's the kind of commitment. Sorry, Amanda.
yeah.
So the best way of becoming a millionaire in skating is actually to start as a billionaire.
Yeah, but I think you're never going to win money. Maybe you're going to always lose for you because that is a different. You're not a company. You are a community, and community is going to always work. I think not everybody, just some people, and the other person is just going to wait for you to do everything. And I think you guys, you have a special group. And I think maybe you started not so well, but I think you don't have to stop it. You have to try it again, because maybe the beginning was not so nice, and I think you can change your strategy to work it.
Definitely.
I feel like we're at a
Make it work
racing
smarter
line,
way.
wait for 2021, and then we're going to go sprinting to the
Yeah,
new year.
because you started in a point that you have a disease, you have people worrying about money, people are saving, and maybe it was not the right time to start everything. But I think 21 is going to be better for you guys. It's going to be better for all the communities. We have to think positive. Maybe not. We never know. But with what is happening in the morning, I think you guys are in one of the top groups in the world. Your name everybody knows.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm not lying.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth because you know, Ricardo, that I speak with the guys all around the world. And when I speak, the first interview was with Carve UK. Everybody was saying that is a great start. I start with you guys is not because of great start. You know why I started, and that's not the problem. Everybody knows that I love Carve. I have a lots of passion for Carve, the way that everybody treat me, and I don't need to speak too many words because everybody knows that. But now I want to have another question because I think we're coming to the end. Is what you guys think, Ricardo? You are listening everything.
Sorry,
Ricardo.
I'll stop.
So it's like this. The question: what you guys think in the next years? Will I don't want to be what you think will be good for us if change it in our communities in electro boards. Ricardo.
Legislation.
I'll pass the word to Ben because he's probably the youngest one in here in the community. So maybe he has other thoughts on what the community is about and what it should be. So I'm old guard, so I want to leave the word.
I'm asking about the community and about what for boards, new
okay.
What we need. Ben,
Yeah, go on, Ben.
In terms of new boards, I think everyone just wants things to be more powerful and lighter, but obviously with current technology, that's not that feasible. So I think it's just getting a balance of the two, really, and just
safety.
Yeah, I mean, like you see a lot of people talking about like full face helmets, and I think especially with like some of these boards that go like 30 plus miles per hour, you really should be looking at getting like a full face helmet because 30 miles per hour on tarmac just
hurts.
Right, yeah. Thanks.
Nelson knows.
Yeah, I know it very well. I'm going to tell you something. I tell you guys, it's like I'm not so fast like you guys. Maybe I'm not, but I think for the next years, the important thing what the companies have to think is more about us, not taking care about them and thinking what is better for the safety of us. You can go faster, but the quality have to be better because we
have to be reliable.
Yes, we have to.
That's the problem that Evolve have is that morality, and I think that's what Jeff from Evolve as the biggest thing. He could release bigger boards with more power, but it's a safety factor, and you're now in charge of that. It's the same thing with bio boards, LaCroix. Like for example, I had remote issues with my Lone Star, my 2020 Lone Star, and now they've completely scrapped the VX1 remote. Because they can't afford for people to have issues. It's only going to be the puck now. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's just me solely, but it's interesting to see companies saying, look, we can't afford accidents. We can't afford issues, because, I had an accident and Nelson, you've had a serious accident as well. And you have to remind it he's on toys. He's on toys.
Till today, I cannot explain it, what happened in my accident. Believe it, I was straight away.
Yeah,
I was putting up my Portuguese flag because there's a brand coming out of my country, which I want to see. I still haven't seen it in real life. I've seen some videos. I've seen some photos.
Suspension truck? Is that the one?
Yeah, the suspension truck. I hope it doesn't fall apart and it breaks up mid-ride, and I hope it's a good product so that the jury is out there. So there's the 18S boards like LaCroix and bio boards and whatnot coming
different
up.
Market.
Different. Yeah, that's the thing. I went to customize my board because I wasn't happy with my board at the time, so I made changes. But
10 years old at this point, isn't it? Yeah. 10 years or something now, isn't it?
There's and it proves the fact that there's a board for everybody, and there's a big wide market for different brands to come up with different concepts. And the other thing that I want to see is lighter, more dense batteries, and that's going to come up in the next 5 to 10 years. It will make the boards a lot more nimble. It will help Billy jump up on his trunk
Wants to do 50 miles an hour now. Can you imagine what they're going to be like in 10 years?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and
You need armor.
and the other thing what we need is the clothes for us. We have Lazy Rollings. You have 2 or 3 companies who are doing that.
Lazy Rollings saved me, man. They did, and I always regret them for that. I know it's a product I bought, but they protected me.
Yeah, but like me, my friend, I tell you, we need something more. They have to think. They have to bring more because we are not 1,000 persons. We are thousands and thousands of riders in all the world, and the communities are so big you cannot forget it. But to go to maybe the last question I like to ask to you guys.
Yeah, we have to go to the stream.
Yes.
Please.
I know.
Come on.
The last question is maybe the important question. How important is for you guys to work with the other groups, right? With the other communities around the world. I speak with Ricardo in private. I speak with Ricardo in private, and I talk about that. We talked before about that because I'm in Germany, you are in UK, and I see Ricardo works with the guys from France, and the Carve UK work with the French very well together. What you think to work more with the other communities, because it's difficult?
It's interesting because we work well with the French, but we work well with the German through yourself and with other countries, with Italy. And I think that we will see, and COVID actually put a stop to it. I think we'll see at some point an European league. I'd like to see every couple of weekends or every 3 weekends a big event in a different country, so that people can actually go out and enjoy riding and win good prizes and have loads of fun. And that's where I see our collaboration going to raise the profile of e-skating, pick it up on the news, and actually help our case for legalization.
Yeah, that is important. So, guys, I just want to tell you something. I want to thank you guys to come to the Scream. I think that was very important. I just want to tell you that I'm going to do it every week. Tuesdays, Sundays, and Thursdays. And next Thursday, I'm going to have Matt from Involve UK.
You got a really good cast of guests, so I wish you all the best. It's I'll be watching them for sure.
A lot of work.
And Tuesday I'm going to have Rebecca.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm going to have the 2 of them. They are the next guys invited, and then Sunday I'm going to have Johnny from Enix Bikes from New
different.
York.
I love that diversity, something different.
Yeah.
For next month, I have lots of people. The important thing that is more for the us community. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for coming.
Dankeschön.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Nelson.
Yeah, that was a fantastic Scream. I hope you have fun now with the quizzes.
Oh yeah,
let's face it.
And we see us next time, huh? Okay, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you everyone watching.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, huh?
He tend to speak Nelson.
I only have the Portuguese one, mate.
So bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nelson. We'll catch up later.
Bye. Yeah.
Are we still live?